The Kunwu Padre. What more could be said about this knife? What is going on, everybody? Edged Mindset here. We're going to be taking a look at this. Now, I've had this knife for a while. I don't think I've done a single video on this thing. Maybe I did. Actually, maybe I did. Maybe I did an unboxing on it. Now that I think about it, because I remember I had a little bit of little slowdown on the order of this knife. I placed an order directly through Kunwu, kind of forgot about it, and 30 days later, I realized that it had not updated or moved or anything, and then I kind of reached out. And then very quickly after that, they shipped it out and I got it. So I do recall doing a video on that, but I don't think I did a full review on this knife. These reviews are tricky because a lot of people have already covered this knife. They've talked about it at length. It is a winner. It's a solid knife. If you're looking for a large, wide, slicey knife in all the nice materials, the titanium, you can see that the diamond pattern on there, kind of their signature finish that Kunwu does on their knives. It's a winner. It's awesome. It's textured. It looks cool. It makes it feel premium. Like this thing for the money feels ultra premium. You can pick these up for pretty good price. However, they're high in demand. So if you're looking in the aftermarket, they go pretty quick, but very cool. VANAX steel. This is the Padre. I don't really love how this is white. That's kind of annoying. It would be cool if this was all just ghosted out or kind of like a shadow type printing on there, but very cool. Let's do some basic stuff, right? How big is this thing? How heavy is it? You want to know that. If you're going to throw this in your pocket, you want to know how heavy it is. It's a little bit of a chunker, 5.2 ounces, but for its size, it's not too bad. You know, it is a bruiser of a knife. You can see compared to, let's do pivot to pivot, P to P. Pivot to pivot with the Paramilitary 2, comparable in size. And believe it or not, this has a longer handle, which is very interesting, but also a little bit of a longer blade. So all freaking good. Very thin behind the edge, very high flat grind. This is a slicer. You've got a nice detailed tip right here to do any kind of work you want to do. You can see how that distal taper works. Very nice distal taper. Lot of belly on this boy. The way you hold it, you've got this kind of coming down pretty low. So if you're trying to do any sort of work on like a flat surface, where you're trying to get this belly in action, this is the knife for you compared to like the Paramilitary 2 again. You're really only working with the tip, right? If you're working on a flat surface, your knuckles are hitting it. You're only cutting with kind of this tip area here. You don't have that kind of issue because of how this kind of bananas down like this. The way it sits in your hand, like I get right in the middle, like I can touch right in the middle on a flat surface. So very cool. However, with all of this belly, if you're trying to push through material, you know, it might want to drift forward or back. So you got to keep that in mind. But that's where blade shapes and edges matter, right? Depending on what you're cutting, the type of work you're doing, it may or may not be the best thing for the choice. But then again, this is really geared towards general EDC usage, right? So general all-purpose type usage. If you are doing a lot of dedicated cutting, you're trying to get through a bunch of cardboard or things like that, you might want to use something built specifically for that. VANAX steel. VANAX steel. That was, you know, VANAX is awesome. It's awesome stuff. Absolutely love it. It's really cool to see it in this knife. I would not have expected that initially. I would have thought that this would be M390, right? Kind of standard stuff that you see nowadays. The fact that they went with VANAX is really cool. It is a premium steel and not very cheap. So for the money, you're getting a lot. You got multiple deployment methods. You got the front flipper that works extremely well. I don't think I can do that in the gloves. You've got the opening hole there. I like how they've got this skeletonized portion right here. So even if you don't quite get in that hole all the way, you've got a little bit of leeway, right? It's forgiving without making a giant hole. So I really like this technique because it does give you a little more purchase, right? You've got this ledge right here, but your finger isn't going to get lost in that hole. Please insert joke there. Very nice. Absolutely love this knife. Titanium handles, skeletonized as much as humanly possible. I mentioned the diamond texture, really nice. They've got this touch of Damascus I believe that's Damascus. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's actually kind of looking like it might just be anodized. I think it might just be anodized. I don't think it's Damascus, but I could be wrong on that. Custom pivot design right there, but it uses standard Torx bits. So very nice. Not a order from knifesupply.com pivot. It's a custom made pivot with that design in there. But you can use regular tools to take this thing apart and maintenance and service it and all that stuff. Lock bar insert like you would expect. Really good lock bar tension. This thing does not, it's tuned so well out of the box. It is drop sheddy and yet has really, really good action. No wiggling of the blade out of the handle or anything like that. Milled titanium pocket clip with the DLC coating. You got the DLC on the geared titanium backspacer. A little bit of a glass breaker action going on here, although, not really. I don't think that's what they were going for, but it does kind of protrude there. So you could use this, I don't know, to open walnuts or whatever you need to do if you need a blunt thing to hit it with. I don't know if it would actually break glass, but it also doubles as a lanyard hole. People don't really use that anymore, but maybe the tides will turn and people will get back into lanyards, and then you can go through your old collection like this one and just throw a lanyard right in there. Tip up right hand carry only. Maybe not. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, I think so, because it looks like it is. Looks like it's got a milled pocket in there. You would not be able just to switch it. For a second, I was like, maybe you could actually switch it, because this is a straight symmetrical type design. So in theory, yeah, if they just would have milled this out so you could actually put it here, you could make that reversible. Kind of interesting that they didn't go that route, unless I'm missing something. But there's no way. I mean, this is not sitting on top of this diamond texture right here. So a little bit of a missed opportunity, because it could have worked quite well. It would have slightly altered the aesthetics on this side, though. So I think they probably made that decision so that they didn't have to deal with that kind of issue right there. This is a large knife. It's on the heavier-ish side for EDC. But if you like larger, beefier, kind of thicker titanium knives, it's a winner, right? Kunwu is doing really cool stuff. They're gaining a lot in popularity. The Facebook group is pretty spicy as well, which I appreciate. They've got a good sense of humor, really cool guys. So if you're bored, you can go to the Facebook group, go to the Kunwu crew, and actually it's not called the Kunwu crew. I forget what it's called, but you can easily find it if you just look up Kunwu Knives groups. It'll pull up. Really cool people with a lot of personality in that group. I like them a lot, but it's a winner. Like, if you didn't know already, it's not new. It's a really good, solid knife design with some awesome aesthetics. Good value for the money. It is made overseas. I think that's obvious, right? I think everybody kind of knows that when you're looking at something like this, but I guess I should have mentioned it. It is made overseas in China, as are all of the knives from Kunwu, as far as I know. All right, guys, take it easy. I'm out. Take care. Catch you later.